Hi, welcome or welcome back to another pick a card reading. So I do have basically two piles that I want to break down because I do want to give you like a lot of information, but I also want to keep it like short and simple and sweet. Let me know if you think that by me talking to you like this is more suitable or you looking down um at my spread is like better, because I don't know. I can go either way. Sometimes when I'm looking at like tarot readers, I want to look at them like they're talking to me, and then at other times I want to actually just look at the cards and just like figure them out for myself. So, drop a comment down below. But when you're ready, let's go ahead and let's get going on the topic for today. And so it's kind of like I wanted to come on. I did not know what to come up here with, but I know that it's something that I want to share with you. It's something that I wanted to talk to you about, and it's kind of like what do your ancestors have to say? Because I've been talking to my ancestors a lot. I've been looking at a lot of messages from my ancestors, but some crazy events happened, which is so weird. It's so weird. Sometimes I don't understand how the universe works. Honestly, I really don't. But I know it's conspiring in my favor. So anyway, let's see what the messages are from your ancestors. Let's see what messages we have from your ancestors. So when you're ready, there's two timestamps down below. I'm going as we go, honestly, TBH. So pick two timestamps and then I'll meet you there, okay? All right, pile number one, okay? So let's get some messages from your ancestors, okay? What messages do we have for my pile number one? Here we go. I didn't know what the title of this video was until, a few minutes ago. Okay, so let's see, what messages do we have for my pile number one? What messages do we have for my pile number one? What messages do we have for my pile number one from the ancestors? Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have Libra. Okay, so justice. Okay, you could be a Libra. All right, or there could be a justice coming into you, or there could be a type of justice that's falling into your favor is what I'm getting. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Moon, the Four of Wands, the Emperor, the Ten of Wands. Okay, so a cycle is closing out for you, okay? If you've been waiting for something that you've been really working hard on, that is coming to a successful ending is what I'm getting, okay? We have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Three of Wands. A lot of wands here. So we have fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. With the Queen of Swords, I hear it's kind of like a spoken truth, or they want you to have some type of truth to say or seek out the truth in a situation that's going on in your life. It could be where this chapter of your life is closing out, but it's some type of justice, okay? Something that's going to be falling in your favor that wanted to let you know, but you want to have an open mind and you want to be clear on your intentions on where you want the outcome to be is what I'm getting, okay? And then so what else? Oh, excuse me, sorry. With that being said, we have the Four of Wands and the Emperor. Okay, so what I'm getting from your ancestors is some clarity. You need clarity on a certain situation. It could be that you've been looking at a lot of pick-a cards. You've been getting kind of like wishy-washy answers. You've been getting kind of like different answers. And Spirit wants me to tell you that your ancestors are actually working diligently in the back, like BTS, right? Behind the scenes. What I'm also getting here, pile number one, is that you would, try to refrain from going on pick a cards, because you're adding any energy to different scenarios that could be mixing you up, that could be kind of like detouring you from the actual one that's coming in, okay? So that's what I'm getting so far. But I mean, And then we have the Queen of Cups. It's like you've been really nurturing this scenario that's going on, right? So I also do see here where there could be some type of neglect that you need to look at. What's are you not holding space for, is what I'm getting. What kind of space do you want to fill in those gaps? Like to fill in the void that whatever is leaving your life. I'm not entirely sure. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't really make sense to me, but it could make sense to you, is what I'm getting. So it's kind of like where you want to make the void, you want to fill in the space, you want to fill in the gaps, you want to fill in the void on whatever is happening, whatever is going on. Okay, so let's get some, yeah. You've been in hermit mode also. This could be like with a judge. Like for some reason, the Emperor is giving me like judge. Who is the judge again? Who is the Emperor? I don't remember who they are. Because like what major arcana, like what sign it is per se. But I do see here that there's two queens, right? So you're like pretty much like halfway there, is what I'm getting. And with that being said, kind of it's drawing me back to the moon, even though this is the second. Hold on. The train is there. This is like a big confirmation. I don't know if you could hear it. I don't know if you could hear me, but I have my mic here, and it's usually so you could hear me, just me, because I have a lot of background noise, and my door to my balcony is open right now. So I just want to let you know. See, it's like it's open. I have a balcony. It's like super cute. Anyway, so I want to start getting some oracles out here, okay? I want to get some more like clarifiers on what's going on. I originally wanted to see if there was like, I'm getting like heavy Leo energy as well. It could be something that holds a passion for you, but I want to get some clarifiers out here, okay? Let's clarify. My gosh, all these want to come out. So what I have here is my Witch's Wisdom like deck, and I'm going to clarify the tarot. So let's go ahead and clarify some cards. Sorry, I need to look because like it's way down here and I'm pretty tall. So yeah. Oh, that one popped out. Okay, so we're clarifying. So set intention. So with your voice, speak your voice, you're setting intention. This is wand energy. So I have another wand that I saw. This is in the beginning of the reading, is when I was like trying to set the intention on what the topic is that I am going to be, talking to you about, or have some messages for you from, it could be from like your higher self, it could be from your ancestors, it could be from spirit, whatever it may be. But I'm also getting here, pile number one, that a lot of the times you tend to overlook yourself, and you overlook to the point where you just decide to confide in others. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. So it's like, like speak your truth instead of like hiding it and trying to be aware of others feelings. Your ancestors want to tell you like you should be more aware of your feelings, be more aware of your thoughts, is what I'm getting. That's so cute. Okay, let's clarify the moon here. Messages from your ancestors. Let's clarify the moon here. Okay, so this one came out, passion. This is a confirmation. I'm talking to a fire sign. I know it is. It's Aries, Leo, Sag. I'm getting heavy Leo, because this whole reading is just fire, passion, fire, ignite it. What the moon is representing here, that you have that spark in you in order for you to have that type of successful outcome that you're looking for. Instead of like you seeking outside for that type of validation, like, hey, maybe I'm going to be seeking within, because it's always been within you, and you want to tell yourself those type of like aspects to yourself, of yourself, right? Okay, so let's clarify the Four of Wands here, Spirit. I want to clarify the... Okay, so I got 2 of these, okay? And I got the moon cycles and Astra incubation. So this also gives me hermit mode is what I'm getting. Like these 2 together, like set your intention on what you do. You could be working with the moon cycles. That's how you're going to have a more harmonious aspect for your outcome is what I'm getting at the, your ancestors want to tell you as well. Something about your car, something about your house is what I'm getting. Car, house. I don't think it's boat. Car, house, boat. No, it's more something along the lines with your car. So maybe get your car checked, or you really, if you need to get whatever you need to get fixed, like get that fixed. So with the Emperor is a witch's hat power. So you hold that type of power. You are the definition of who you hold yourself to be, of what others hold a representation of you. And your ancestors want to let you know that that is true. Like some people might, you know, like hype you up and let you know, like, hey, pile number 1, like this is what I think of you. Like I know you're by yourself all the time or whatever, or you keep to yourself, but a lot of people really do look up to you is what I'm getting. And so, you know, you stand your ground, you stand on business, like you're doing everything that you can, right? Like this is totally what I like. And so that's actually really awesome that this is coming out. Okay, well, let's clarify the 10 of Wands. Let's clarify the 10 of Wands, please, for messages from their ancestors, please, Spirit. Okay, so I have Lord God, masculine energy. So by you pushing through, by you calling yourself through the situation, you're going to have that cycle or that chapter that's going to be closing. But the thing is, you're going to have to balance yourself out. It could be masculine energy to me represents taking action, like instead of, you know, femininity is actually letting it come to you or getting it, you know. The thing is, like, what your ancestors want to tell you, the messages that are coming through is like, be open to taking action, because you could be wanting to follow through on certain things, but then it's kind of like confusing you again, like we were talking about earlier about you looking at pick a cards, or, you know, and they're confusing like different scenarios and trying to fit in, you know, a square into a round peg, right? Or a square into a circle. You know, the outcome may be different. So that's kind of like what's been happening for you so far. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands, please. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically what I'm getting. Honestly, I really need a table. Like I need a chair, I need a table. I really need to like get things going. Like let's get it together. Let's get it together. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so by autumn is coming in. By this time, whatever you're looking at, I mean, we're like halfway through summer and it's almost over is what I'm getting. Look, femininity. Be open and receptive to the messages that you're receiving, and you know the outcome by this time during fall, right? Autumn, so it may be like the end of September. You may get the results, you know, as early as, you know, mid-September, late September, October, going into, you know, November. Whatever time you're looking at this, you know, it's a timeless pick a card, obviously, but we have both the masculine and feminine energy here, and you're standing on business. So the Queen of Cups exudes that type of nurturing, that you're nurturing a certain aspect or a task that you have, or you have like an encounter with somebody and you're watching them closely, right? A lot of the times when you look at the Queen of Wands, you know, she's very delicate. Her gaze is very delicate. So it's kind of like you want to take a look at yourself like that I'm getting also that your ancestors really want you to catch up on your sleep is what I'm getting. Set a different sleeping routine for yourself. You could be, you know, having insomnia later is what I'm getting, like later on during the day. Try not to take too many naps. I know I've been taking naps, especially like during this Mercury retrograde, and I'm up late at night and like I wake up really late. I don't know how I do it for work because I wake up super early. Let's get the, you know, you're waiting for your ships to come in, right? You're waiting for that response from your ancestors. The thing is, you have to trust yourself, and they want you to talk to them more, rely on them more instead of like yourself, because you do your masculine energy first instead of, you know, having that femininity and then balancing it out with masculinity. So let whatever is coming in first, with you going to that direction of you taking action. Okay, feminine, masculine, yin and yang, right? Okay, so with that, we have fertility. Take a deep breath, take a step back is what I'm getting. Spirit and initiation. What did I tell you? So a lot of the times your ancestors are there and they want to step in, they want to talk to you, they want to send messages to you. The thing is kind of like, well, you're turning this way, but your body wants to go that way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, give yourself a break to not confuse yourself is what I'm getting. That's so cute. So we're going to close out your messages. Let me see. So let's get some messages like from, I forget which ones these are. You know, they're these ones. They're like the little like ghetto ones. They're like the ghetto ones. Okay, so let's close out. Let's get some messages from their ancestors. Let's get some advice. Okay, so we got priestess. You know, you're very intuitive is what I'm getting. So they want you to rely more on your intuition. It's that feminine aspect. Be open and receptive to the messages that are coming in, because they do really want to talk to you, pile number one, and they're there with you. You may think like you're by yourself, and that's why you have to take action. That's why you feel compelled to actually take action. I've been there, I've done that, and trust me, like it ends up like biting me in the butt. Like when I take action first instead of kind of like being open to communication to my ancestors and my spirit guides, it's not the best. Like it's not the best. Let me tell you, babe. All right, so let's see. So how are you being called to step up and lead? You know, take that lead, take that leap of faith is what I'm getting. I'm surprised I didn't get the full card here, honestly. So we also have Minataken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. I also have Lemura, creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. So I'm telling you, like, this type of justice, that it could like catapult you into a new cycle. And we did have that coming in with the 10 of Wands, right? You're closing out a certain type of cycle where it could be like where your finances are in there, or something with like the judicial system, something that may be happening because you want things, you know, you see things how they are for face value, and your ancestors want to tell you that, you know, you believe in it enough, it's going to fall into your favor. Because I do feel, pal number one, that you are very much like a very logical person. You're very passionate on whatever subject that you invest yourself into, but then again, you are a fair person, right? So that's what I'm getting. I also see transformation. You see what I mean? This is what's going on. Things are changing at a cellular level. So also the advice is like, even though you don't see a lot of stuff happening, like I said earlier, BTS, behind the scenes, like a lot of stuff is happening, and it's kind of, it's going to be that gradual anticipation where you're like, oh, this feels good, like this is happening, like things are unfolding for me little by little, you know. So we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So the thing is, the advice at the end of the day, don't take life so seriously, right? The situation may be serious. However, you want to believe that you do have a group behind you. You do have a lot of spiritual growth behind you. So put that into play, put that into perspective. Like, don't diminish yourself or belittle yourself or even downgrade yourself just because you're in the 3D and a lot of stuff is happening. Like everything is happening for you in the 5D. You just have to make sure that you're believing. Like it's gotten you this far, pile number one. So what is stopping you now? Why are you relying so much on an outsider perspective instead of yourself going within? All right, my baby. So I hope that helped. I hope the messages from your ancestors helped. Let's see. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a little sunflower down below, okay? If you made it this far, okay? I love you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, pile number two, if you chose, well, I mean, there's nothing that we chose, but if you chose pile number two, let's go ahead and get started. So pile number one was more like cut to the point, like straight to the point, but I was kind of like lost because I didn't know what to say, but then we got on a roll. So honestly, let me know, because I asked this to pile number one, do you like when I'm right here, like facing you and talking to you? Or do you like when like you're looking down like at my cards? Because I don't know, sometimes when I look at tarot readers or when I'm looking at some videos of tarot readers, I want to look at their face, but then at some other time, like on specific questions or whatever I have, like I actually don't want to look at their face. Like I want to look at the cards themselves. It's just like for a clarifier of the like spreads that I'm doing for myself, you know, because sometimes I don't want to like dwell into my own energy too much and I need an outsider's perspective. Anyway, so off tangent. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to start off with your tarot first, and let's get some messages from your ancestors. Let's get some messages for my pile two from their ancestors. Let's get some messages from my pile two from their ancestors. Oh, Queen of Cups, that's the first card that I got too. We got Two of Wands, we got Six of Cups. Something from your past is coming up. You want to have something from your past, like, I don't want to say erased, but you want to be really like firm with it and, you know, have a successful outcome. And you maybe want it to have like something trial and true, something happening. So we have the Four of Cups is the overall energy of what's going on. Okay, so your ancestors really want to tell you that they know that you're dwelling on a lot. They know that you're in a cocoon, in a bubble of just thought process is what I'm getting. And what is going on here, what is crazy with pile number one, it was kind of like more action oriented, like you wanted to see more. However, here is kind of like your thought process is like, which way do I go about on making decisions, right? Because you could be looking online about a certain situation that's going on in your life. I'm also getting here pile number two, where you see successful outcomes coming about, but it's kind of like you want to dissect the situation on how that's going to be happening for you. So it could be like where you're getting intuitive hits coming down. However, you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like you have that withdrawal. So what I have here is the Queen of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Magician, the Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and of course we have the Eight of Cups. So I get the feeling here that it's a cross of, you know, a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is what I'm getting. I also do see here fire signs. We got a little bit of everything basically, but more it's a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is what I'm getting. So pile number two, your ancestors want you to break the pattern of you overthinking. I'm cutting straight to the point. They want you to stop overthinking is what I'm getting. My legs are hurting right now. I've been crisscross applesauce for like the past 24 minutes. So it's kind of getting to me. This is why I'm asking, like, do you want to see me like this? I don't want to use my vanity per se, because I feel like it's a lot of cross contamination of energy. Not contamination, but it's a lot of cross energy. And sometimes I feel kind of weird, like when I'm doing my makeup there or my hair. So it's kind of like, even though I like sage it and I cleanse my like space very often. So I just kind of want to have, you know, food for thought from you guys. But I also do see here pile number 2 is where you want this stuff to happen quickly, and you're overthinking a lot to the point, I don't know if you could hear my mic. I think my mic is like tangled in my hair. Okay, so a lot of the times it's kind of like when you're how can I say it? You're overthinking the situations to the point where you're trying to change your own outcome because of what you're afraid might happen, because of what you're afraid, what your thoughts might bring about. Okay, is what I'm getting is that you're a powerful manifester. You're a master manifester here. We do have the Magician here, and this is what I was getting earlier, but I didn't, you know, like call it out. But I do see here pile number 2 is where your ancestors want to tell you, like, hey, like, take a step back. You know, if you have like these impulsive thoughts that are happening out of nowhere, is what I'm getting, that they want you to write it down. So get a notebook, or like even in your phone. I know that they have like a notepad like app. I have that, and it helps out a lot. Like when I'm writing something down and I don't have like a piece of paper, I don't have like my notebook on hand at times, and so that may help you actually, you know, get into the mindset of letting your thoughts out instead of like having them dwell, because they don't want you to overthink as much. They don't want you to sorry about the car. It's loud. They don't want you to get distracted is what I'm getting. All right, so I want to get some clarifiers out here, okay, using my witch's, what is it called? My witch's wisdom oracle deck. So this is my trial and true trusted, you know, ghetto wisdom deck, okay? But it's trial and true, like I said, and it's helped me out a lot. So let's get some messages. Let's get some clarifiers over here with the Queen of Cups, please, Spirit. That popped out. I know you saw that. So we have cauldron. Containment is what I'm getting. So that's funny because she's holding a cup as well, and the Queen of Wands represents like nurturing a certain aspect or focusing on something and putting all your energy and effort into that a lot of the times, right? So you could be concocting something, you could be wanting to have something, you know, come out in a successful outcome is what I'm getting. We have feminine energy. It's kind of like, should you let things happen on their own instead of you taking action? This is why you're in the hermit mode. I'm surprised I didn't see hermit mode. Oh yeah, I did. No, this reminds me of hermit, like low key. You know what I mean? This reminds me of the hermit because he has a cloak. He's looking back. He's only like defending on himself. Sorry, I didn't pick my nose. It's just like a little hair that was there. Like, you know how little hairs. Okay, anyway, whatever. So the thing is, I know somebody's gonna say something about that. So I feel like your mind's going hemi. NGL, honestly. Okay, so let's get the Six of Cups. It's something from your past. Like, you don't want to repeat the same cycle over and over. This is why you're overthinking. This is why you're kind of like, gosh, I need this to happen. Like, I need this to happen right away, but I don't want it to happen like with the same circumstances. So you could be having that type of like effect, like, oh, in springtime. So this, you could see results by springtime. You know, this is a timeless pick a card, honestly, pile number 2. So you could be springing into action is what I'm getting, but I don't feel like you're supposed to take any action. I feel like you're supposed to let your ancestors or your spirit guides take over. Like, trust them, believe that they are doing, you know, everything behind the scenes for you. Like, they're actually putting in work, just like you've been putting in work is what I'm getting. Okay, so Watchtower of the South. You could be from the South, you could be from South America, you could be, you know, from the southern states. I know that some of like our family members here at Wanderlust Goddess, like the Cove, I know that some of them are like from across the states or across the seas. Okay. So summertime. Oh, I thought it was springtime. So summertime. We are in summertime. Whenever you are taking a look at this, this is timeless, but it's summertime. Something that's going to come into clarity, something that's going to be coming into your light, something that's going to be coming into light in your life. the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is starting something new. Also, it just depends on, you know, something small, something that's like online or some type of research. I'm getting here Maybun balance. So you're starting off small with something, right? And it's kind of like, well, should I go this way? Should I create something that's going to be beneficial for me in the long run? You know, and it's kind of like you have that mindset. And honestly, your ancestors, again, they want to tell you like, hey, let us take over. Like, let us take over. You know, when you just let go and let God, honestly, like, it's the best feeling in the world. Otherwise, you're gonna end up paying consequences that were not supposed to be there. You know, it's kind of like an unforeseen series of events is what I'm getting, kind of. And I've done that. You know, I've actually been in that. I was actually there, you know, last night. A lot of stuff happened and it was crazy. So let's clarify the Magician. Let's get the messages. Clarify the Magician. Okay, so we have Yale rebirth. So this is kind of like you have that power. You have that opportunity to create yourself again, or to give yourself that type of initiation of rebirth is what I'm getting. Okay, and I'm also looking at my journal, and it's kind of like, again, they're pointing out like, hey, pile number 2, we want you to write your stuff down. If you have dreams, if you have like epiphanies, if you have like all of a sudden, like, you get these creative ideas, so that's when you're getting these types of downloads. And whatever the universe, you know, sees that is fit for you, and they want you to do that immediately. Like me, honestly, I was gonna go somewhere but because of the unforeseen like series of events that I had last night going on in my life, I decided to stay home. And I'm glad I'm staying home so I can, you know, pass this message down to you. But anyway, so it's kind of like everything happens for a reason, and it's fated to be like that, right? So I also do see here the 6 of Wands. But it's like calling me to have, let me see. So this is the 6 of Wands is clarified by banishment, by a hex. So honestly, if you don't believe in, like, you know, hexes or like curses or whatever, then don't take this. Like, don't let it resonate for you. I don't want you to overthink. But I do see here pile number 2 where it's kind of like you want the facts to happen about. This is why I see a lot of, you know, cups going on here, because you're really emotional, but a lot of the times you want to be logical because you don't want to let your overthinking get the best out of you. I also do see here that it's going to be, it's kind of like you're not going to feel so down about yourself. You're not going to feel so what's the word? Burdened. There you go. That's the word. You're not going to feel so burdened to the point where you're just going to be like holding back, is what I'm getting. Also, I do see here quick results. Spring. We were talking about spring, but we ended up getting summer. So what I'm getting here, pile number 2, is like you're going to be springing into action, or something's going to be happening very quickly. Okay, like I said, this is a timeless. Pick a card. So get these messages when they come to you, and then just put them where they best seem fit. Okay, all right, so let's clarify. Oh my, let's clarify the 8 of Wands. This is our last card here that we have for messages from your ancestors. Can we clarify? There we go. Let's clarify. So we got fulfillment, chalice. Look, that's funny because the 8 of Wands has a lot of chalices or cups with it. So with that being said, is what I'm getting, it's like these 2 chalices that are back here, you're going to be putting it into perspective where there's 2 emotional investments that you're going to be looking at. It's going to be one big one because they intertwine with one another, and your ancestors want you to take a look at the big picture, is what I'm getting. So take a look at the big picture to the point where you're just like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on, right? It's a diet soda. It's like my sweet treat. Okay, so that's what we have. So I want to close out your reading. I want to close out your reading with some, let me see, where are we? I don't think it took that long for me to talk to you, right? Okay, we have a few more minutes, and I think I'm going to add something else for you. Like, don't tell pile number 1 that I did this, okay? Okay, we're getting some messages some advice. Let's get some advice, some closing messages on advice from your ancestors. Let's get some advice for my pile number 2. Let's get some advice for my pile number 2. Thank you. One more time. Ooh, this one wanted to come out. I'm not going to take it, Spirit. I'm not going to take it. So we have unbound, releasing soul patterns. So you, like I said, you want to break that habit that you have, and past lives. So it's kind of something that you don't want to happen. This is why you're in that 8 of Cups. You're kind of like, oh, I don't want the same outcome to be the same, honestly. Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. And we have that clarifying card with the Magician, okay? Let's get some advice for my pile number 2 from their ancestors. Let's get some advice for my pile number 2. Oh, that almost went in my drink. Thank you. All right. So we also have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeing the light, laying foundations, and divine planning. So it's kind of like your spirit guides want you to work with them. Like I was telling you, let them put in the work too. It's not just you, is what I'm getting, okay? Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. So pile number 2, it could be also that you're this is why I was telling you like about the cross contamination of like my space and energy. It could be that you're letting a lot of, you know, other energies come in, is what I'm getting. And so it's kind of like you want to have a cleansing or cleanse yourself, you know, something to do with like your chakras, most likely your root chakra. So, you know, find a YouTube or whatever it may be, or even, you know, meditate with your ancestors, or even talk to your ancestors and say, you know, I need this type of cleansing or type of healing with my root chakra. It's kind of like you feel unbound, is what I'm getting. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So a lot of your choices have a lot of consequences that a lot of people, because I see a lot of people in here, like you're not by yourself. It's like it's for your tribe too. So it could be like these generational triumphs that you're having. It's kind of like you want to break, I don't want to say curses, but you know, I'm going to go that route. You want to break these generational like setbacks, is what I'm getting from this. You know, you want to take that detour. This is why it could be something either from your past life, is what I'm getting, or something that's been happening in your like parents' life or your ancestors' life, or your ancestors, like they've experienced that when they were here in the 3D, and they kind of want you to not fall into the same like path that they did. And that's why kind of like you've been in your head and you're like, I don't know what I should do. Should I go this route? Should I go that route? What is it that I want to set my mind to, so that I can just, you know, take action on that? Because like I said, you're very action oriented, you're goal oriented. However, right now you're kind of in that cocoon stage, that like simmering. Let her cook. She is cooking. She is cooking good. She's cooking right. We're gonna let her cook, or him. We're gonna let him cook. But I'm telling you, majority of the people who watch who watch this video are women. So okay. And then warrior woman. See, what did I just say? Have you answered your deep calling? It's kind of like you want to pave the way for either your kiddos, or you want to pave the way for, you know, your future ancestors that are going to be, you know, in your tribe, is what I'm getting. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm getting so far. One last thing. I don't know. I didn't do this with pile number 1, but let me see. It's kind of like, okay, let's get you, you know, believe in your own magic. I'm gonna get my oracle deck out here. Believe in your own magic. Okay. Here we go. Believe in your own magic. At the bottom of the deck, wings. 8 could be of significance to you. 888. We also have a Lion's Gate coming in pretty soon, so get ready for that. 888. Okay. You never needed the wings to fly. Okay. All right, so we have 2 closing messages out for you, okay? We have 4 and 16, which are great significant, okay? So they lead down to 2, 4 and 2, okay? An even number. You might want to look at that, something about even numbers or synchronicities. So mirror, treat your body like the palace it is, my bad. And then I free, stand up for yourself. It's like have that clarity, you know, like we were talking about stand on business, right? Stand on business, pile number 2. I know you got this. This is what your ancestors want to tell you. Like, stand on business. You know you got this. Like, let us handle it for you. Like, yes, we know you're triumphant and true. We know you stand on business. We know that you have it, but let us help you because you do need help. You've been calling out for help, but it's kind of like to the point where it's kind of you're going to end up exhausting yourself. You don't want to be so stressed to the point where you're just full of cortisol, and it's only going to make you sick. Okay, babe? All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope this resonated. I hope this helped. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave a door emoji, like opening a path, right? If one door you don't like it, then go ahead and close. That's what life is all about. It's opening and closing doors, right? So if one door closes, then another door is going to open. If you don't like one door, when you open it, then another, you can close that door and open another one. All right, so yeah, leave a door emoji if you made it this far to this pile. I hope this helped. I hope to see you in the next reading very soon. Bye, pile number 2.